Uganda. The metropolitan city generates approximately half of Uganda's gross domestic product and is said to be among the most rapidly growing cities in Africa. The Great City, which is known to be the Pearl of Africa, is made up of an impressive skyline, streets with European flair, friendly people, and a very low crime rate. It is one of the most modern African cities, with numerous parks, shops, hotels, bars, and international restaurants. The city, whose surroundings offer sightseeing, city walks, and day trips opportunities, is indisputably one of Africa's most beautiful cities. 25. Tunis. Often referred to as Grand Tunis, it is Tunisia's largest city and capital with a population of 2.7 million inhabitants. The city is situated on a vast Mediterranean Sea gulf, and on its core rests ancient Medina, a World Heritage Site. Surrounded by old Arab walls, Tunis is the country's most beautiful city, making it one of Africa's, with the best of Arabic architecture and vibrant markets, most notably. 24. Luanda. Located on Angola's northern Atlantic coast, Luanda is Angola's administrative center, primary port. Its economy is boasted by the presence of industries, which include the processing of agricultural products, beverage production, textile cement, new car assembly plants, construction materials, plastics, metallurgy, cigarettes, and shoes. The city of Luanda is also notably a host of an economic center for oil and refinery. Framed with palm trees and protected by a spit of land from the harbor of the crashing blue-gray Atlantic, Luanda is Angola's beating heart, which is dynamically, unforgettably, and seductively sitting a half-moon-shaped bay. It is indeed one of Africa's most beautiful. 23. ACCRA. Located in the southern coast at the Gulf of Guinea, ACCRA, which usually refers to the Accra metropolitan area, is the capital and largest city of Ghana, with an estimated urban population of 4.2 million people. The beautiful city is one in which visitors enjoy its multiracial and cultured urban areas with amazing shopping outlets full of ranges restaurants. Beach bars alongside excellent Ghanaian nightlife experience. The city has many upscale areas which include the East Legon and Osu, commonly known as Oxford Street. The city of Accra is home for the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park, which contains mausoleum and museum charting his life as first president of the nation. The city has vast and colorful markets like the Makola Market and seafront spots beaches like the Labadi Beach. 22. ABUJA. Located within the Federal Capital Territory at the center of Nigeria, Abuja is Nigeria's capital and eighth most populous cities. Due to Nigeria's geopolitical influence in regional affairs, the city is a key capital on the African continent. It is home to most of Nigeria's government agencies, foreign embassies and residencies of the president, senators, and most of the other top politicians. Alongside being the wealthiest and most expensive in the continent, Abuja is known to be one of the few purpose-built African capital cities. The city, whose main economic driver is real estate, is mainly served by the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport. It has well-developed transport, education, tourism, and social sectors, and is no doubt one of the most beautiful cities in Africa. 21. KIGALI. Cited in 1907 based on its central location, views, and security, Kigali is the capital and largest city of Rwanda. It has been Rwanda's economic, cultural, and transport center since it became capital. As host of the main residence of the President of Rwanda, most government ministries and offices, the largest contributor to the city's gross domestic product is its service sector. The city exudes pattern from open spaces to neatly set out palm trees and trimmed lawns sprinkled with colorful flowers. Kigali embodies the green living motto and gives the city amity, stability, and ambitions. Like a famous paragon rising from the ashes, Kigali has been identified with hope as it builds itself. Kigali is one of the African cities which has put in place effective implementation of stringent laws and has so far maintained its beauty and order. 20. Jen. Also referred to as Jen, it is an urban commune and town in the inland Niger Delta region of central Mali. It is the administrative center of the Jen Circle, which is among the subdivisions of the Mopti region. The town is popular for its outstanding adobe architecture, most noticeably the Great Mosque, which was constructed in 1907. To its south is Djenjano, which is one of the oldest towns in sub-Saharan Africa. Jen, designated a World Heritage Site by UNESCO in 1988, is home to the astonishing mosque, considered the largest mud-built building in the world. Assembled from mud bricks dehydrated in the sun and plastered yearly by the whole association of city residents, the companionship alone is a beauty to behold. The city rests on a sequence of tiny hills dotted with mud-built cottages, attractive shops, and cafes. Seasonal overflow turns the town into an island, resulting to a parade of bright-colored canoes, floating from shore to shore. If alone construction could dictate the most gorgeous city in Africa, Jen in south-central Mali would top the list. 19. Algiers. With a population of about 4.5 million people, Algiers is the capital and largest city of Algeria, located on the Mediterranean Sea in the north-central portion of the country. The city's modern part is constructed on the level ground by the seashore, whilst its ancient city of days climbs the steep hill behind the modern town, crowned by the UNESCO World Heritage Site Casbah. From silver domes to dynasty palaces, extensive minarets, and entangled mosaics, the architectural path of the city has been consistent in its march through the centuries. Algiers' staggering historical monuments, along with its marbled Great Mosque and Catholic Basilica positioned on towering cliffs, makes it one of Africa's most beautiful cities. 18. Aswan. Found in southern Egypt, Aswan is the capital of the Aswan Governorate. It is a busy market and tourist center, which on expansion now includes the formerly separate locality on the island of Elephantine. The Aswan city is part of the UNESCO Creative Cities in the category of craft and folk art. With the tactical location on the Nile River, Aswan carries the charm of historical ruins and temples hearkening to long-ago generations. Being culturally noteworthy, the city encompasses assorted islands including Aglika Island, home to the archaeological site of the Philae Temple complex. Philae has a very popular and noticeable structure called the Temple of Isis, which was built with sandstone-colored columns and convoluted carvings in honor of the Egyptian goddess of love in the 4th century. While sailboats meander their way along the shoreline, shaded by tangerine-toned hills, Aswan's beauty and that of its respected temple are illuminated by evening light and sound shows. 17. Franschhoek. Located in Western Cape Province, Franschhoek is a small town and one of the oldest in South Africa, formerly known as Olifantshoek. The town is one of South Africa's most sought-out residential addresses, with an ideal summer weather, snowy peaks during winter, and proximity to Cape Town. The city is noted for having top restaurants within its border, which alongside its strong wine culture and pristine natural and architectural beauty, has made it the food and wine capital of South Africa. The city is covered with grassy vineyards and zigzag trails at Mont Rochelle Nature Reserve. It is dotted by farmlands, which provided fresh ingredients for its popular cuisine. Its lakes and rivers serve as fishing grounds and are surrounded by bike and hiking trails meandering through the untouched forests. With all these, Franschhoek is considered a serene, beautiful African city. 16. Chefchaouen. Also referred to as Chaouen, it is a city in northwest Morocco and the chief town of the Chefchaouen province. It is an economy based on agro-pastoral system with olive and fig plantations, which have numerous water mills for grinding grain and olives. The city also has a handcraft sector, which focuses on leather, iron, textiles, and carpentry. Chaouen washes the horizon in azalea blue tones emerging from the color-washed structures of its old town community. Besides the reassuring blue visage of its old town, Chefchaoun's major square is characterized by a startling red Kasbah fortress constructed in the 14s, complete with a real dungeon. The city's charming architecture is framed by two mountain peaks, and due to its remote location and surreal ambience. It is the blue pearl of Morocco, and a strong front-runner for most beautiful African city. 15. Agadir. Located 509 kilometers from Casablanca, north to the point where the Souss River flows, Agadir is capital of the Souss Massa region and a major city in Morocco. The city is one of Morocco's major urban centers with a population of over 924,000 people. Agadir teems with visitors throughout the year, as it is the most active oceanside resort in Morocco. As the city is settled within the foothills of the Anti-Atlas mountain range, it gives out an agrarian backdrop to the bustling beach scene. Its flourishing green golf courses, private hammock massage rooms, and boat trips on the Atlantic are Agadir's main fun activities. The city's blend of nature and modish eateries along the seaside avenue makes it rankingly part of the list of top African beautiful touristic cities. 14. JINJA Town. Located on the north shores of Lake Victoria in the Busoga subregion of eastern Uganda. JINJA Town, with a population of 71,213, is the second largest economy in Uganda. It is the tourism hub of Africa, with many adventure activities for tourists like watching games, kayaking, traditional dances, sailing, native fights, horse riding, nightlife experiences, water rafting, museum visits, camping, visiting beaches, swimming, bungee jumping, sunbathing, and many more. It is popularly referred to as the adventure capital of East Africa due to its many activities tourists could engage in. Its spectacular view and natural resources makes it a constant contender for most beautiful city in Africa. 13. Essaouira. Protected by a natural bay partially shielded from wave action, the city of Essaouira is a port city in the western Moroccan region of Marrakech Safi on the Atlantic coast. The city is listed as a UNESCO World Heritage City and is an example of a late 18th century fortified town. The city has a handful of modern purpose-built hotels within its walls and many privately owned riads, which may be rented for any period of time. Notably cabinet making and wood carving, Essaouira is home to a huge number of small arts and craft businesses. With the heavy trade wind blowing almost consistently onto the preserved, almost waveless bay, the city is popular for its kite surfing and windsurfing. Due to the tree climbing goats, which are unique to its region, the city is one of the top tourist attractions in Morocco. Well known recently for its edgy, laid-back ambience and picturesque coast, the city's stunning crescent beaches makes it one of the most beautiful in Africa. 12. Windhoek. Located on the Comas Highland Plateau area, with a population of 431,000 people, Windhoek is the largest city and capital of Namibia. It is the economic, social, political, and cultural hub of the country. It is headquarters for almost all national enterprises and also host of the University of Namibia. Windhoek is marked with the past presence of Germany colonial times in form of German architecture, 3 German-style castles, and appealing pastel structures visible from miles away. It is a wonderful African city worth visiting, filled with a broad combination of modern amenities as well as neo-Baroque cathedrals and indigenous populations. Wildlife and over 200 species of birds, including the almost extinct green-backed heron, are safely harbored in the Don Viljoen Game Park. 11. Luxor. Often being characterized as the world's greatest open-air museum, Luxor is a modern city in the southern part of Egypt. With a population of over 400,000 people, Luxor is the capital of the Luxor Governorate and one of the oldest inhabited cities in the world. The city's economy is solely dependent on tourism and agriculture. Transportation to and fro and within the city is quite easy and stress-free due to the good nature of roads. The city has monuments, temples, and tombs of the West Bank Theban necropolis.